What's going on, guys? Welcome along to another video. I'm Matt with DSR. This is the Honda NT1100 with the DCT option, and I'm going to be running through all the facts and figures, and then we'll get out on the road and see how it handles. This being Honda's 1100 engine, they do use it across the Africa Twin as well. This is a 1084cc, producing 102 brake horsepower and 104 Newton meters of torque. Let's look at the brakes and suspension on this bike. At the front, we do have dual 310mm disc. At the rear, we've got a single 256mm disc. For the suspension, we do have 43mm inverted shower forks with adjustable preload at the front. Today, I'm going to be trying to answer, is the NT1100 the best bang for buck litre touring bike on the market at the moment? Let's look at some of the features that it comes with as standard. We do have LEDs all round. I really do like the daytime running lights at the front. I think it looks very sleek and stylish. It's a touring bike, so we do have cruise control. You're going to need something for those winter months to keep your hands warm, and it comes with heated grips as standard. The heated grips, I've got 5 different levels of heat. As you can tell, it's got a centre stand, but it's also got your traditional side stand. For me, more importantly, for the price range of this bike, which we'll get to in a bit, is this comes with side bags as well. I'm not sure how many other bikes out there that come with side bags as standard. If you want to pick up one of these bikes, the standard version is going to set you back £12,500, which in today's market is really good. If you do want the DCT option, it's going to set you back £13,500. So 12.5 grand, cruise control, heated grips, panniers, comfortable bike. I mean, at the minute, what's not to love? There are 3 different colour options for you to pick from. Obviously, we've got the grey here, or you can have black and then white as well. Let me know in the comments box below which colour do you prefer, grey, white or black. Now, I'm going to show you this now, not whilst we're on the bike, and the reason for that is the screen is non-adjustable whilst you're riding. Honda have done this so you can't get distracted whilst you're riding by changing the screen. Whether it's a single hand or 2 hand, they found that people were putting cruise control on for 2-handed adjusted screens and then adjusting it. So the government have suggested, through safety reasons, that there should be only adjustable when you're off the bike. So that's what Honda have done. To adjust the screen, you're going to come to the front. You're going to grab the lower part where it goes, there's like a black kind of pattern, and you're going to kind of pull it towards you and then slide down. There is 5 different levels, but for me, I tend to either go from the lowest to the highest. I don't really worry about kind of the bits in between. But that is something that you are going to have to know. If you do want to change the screen, you're going to have to jump off the bike and adjust it. What would be nice to see is if in the future a Honda installed a electronic motor and then put one of the function buttons for an electric windscreen, just like the BMW RT. The last thing I want to show you on this bike before we get on the road is the seat height. 820mm seat height. I'm 6'1". As you can see, it is a comfortable position to kind of control the bike when stationary. That's enough talking. Let's get on the road. So sitting on the bike then, like I said, fairly decent seat height. There's a little bit of top heaviness to the weight of it. This bike, so the standard is 238 kilos. DCT adds 10 kilos. So this bike is 248. Like I said, there's a little bit of top heaviness. We do have quite a big 20-litre fuel tank. So stationary, it's something to be mindful of, kind of at traffic lights, etc. But when you are kind of riding along, you can't feel it. So slow speed handling. One thing to remember, obviously, clutch, there is none. This bike can't stall, but it will stop. So if you are doing any kind of slow speed manoeuvring, you need to keep some form of throttle going just to keep the momentum. But turn and circle on this is really good, really tight. Absolutely no dramas with this in any form of filtering or car parks. It's just really nice and smooth. That engine to throttle response is beautiful. We do have a few different rider modes. So we've got rain, user 1, user 2, tour and urban, and each one of those will adjust the kind of throttle response, the engine braking as well, and traction control. The rider modes, user 1 and user 2, you can go into the settings and adjust. So it's nice to see that you've got that flexibility to kind of set the bike up to how you want. I've covered off some of the electronics, but let's have a look at the rest. We do have a dual screen going on at the front. We got a top TFT screen, and then below that we've got the traditional LCD screen. On the Africa Twin, I get it, because you're standing up and sometimes the TFT screen isn't visible but the LCD is. This, you aren't standing up, so I kind of don't know why they've left the LCD screen there. But hey, maybe it's a marketing thing for them to go, oh look, we have two screens. We do have this nice kind of windshield, sun shield above the TFT screen, just to kind of block off any reflections. Below the screens, left and the right, so on the left we've got a 12-volt socket, and on the right we've got a USB socket. So you've got the ability to charge multiple devices. And what Honda have done, camera's not going to show it up properly, on the right hand side underneath the USB line is they've kind of put like a little indentation. So if you've got a tank bag and you want to charge something, your phone, your sat nav, whatever, you can run the wire in through the little kind of gully, and then it will come out the side of the fair in there, and then you can plug it in, so there's no wire, extra wires kind of hanging out and kind of getting in the way. So it's nice they've thought about that. Sometimes manufacturers don't think, they just kind of throw things on and just let it be, really. So what I've noticed between drive and sport, when it's in drive, I find the bike likes to, well, drive and automatic, the bike likes to be in a too high a gear. By that I mean I'll get up to 35 miles an hour and the bike will put itself in 6th gear. So there you go, 35, 37, it's in 6th. Now, yes, take a little detour. Yes, the bike will go along, but you feel the jerkiness, you feel the joltiness. Like, let me try and get it into 6th. Like, in reality, at 35, 36 miles an hour, I would not be in 6th gear. I mean, I know we're going downhill, dude, but you can pedal. I hate cyclists. They're on the road, they should pay road tax and they should have insurance. Anyway, rant over. Yeah, so the gear is too high, so it's too sluggish. So I find if I put it into sport, actually the gearing is a lot better. It's more in line to what gear I would have had it in. Yes, I can use the flappy panels, but I don't want to. If I've got an automatic, I don't want to be using the flappy panels. Another little pet gripe of mine is the cruise control buttons on the right hand side. So that means you kind of need to come off the throttle to get to the cruise button. They've got all these buttons on the left hand side. Let's put it over here. We do have some quick function buttons on the left and the right hand side. You can go into the settings as well and adjust what menu they go to. But at the minute I think they're set up for, I think it's like fog lights or auto headlights and heated grips. Okay, so I've got it in sport, I've got it in level 2 of sport. The throttle response is okay, it's not the sharpest. I've now got it into Sport 3. Same again, it does feel a little bit sluggish. Now Sport 1. Honestly, I can't really tell the difference between the three sports. For me personally, I think DCT definitely has its place in the biking community, whether that be arthritis, strength in your hands, you can't pull the clutch lever.
injuries to the hands or the left foot, so you can't change the gears. Like, I understand the place for DCT. I like it that this bike, or Honda's got about 6 or 7 different bikes that they can put DCT on. Whenever I've ridden a bike with DCT, I personally feel like it takes a little bit of character away from the bike and away from the engine. Last year I tested the NT1100. I thought it was a good bike, wasn't overly impressed with the engine. I then jumped on the AT, so the Africa Twin 1100. That was manual and it was like a completely different bike. So if I was going to get this bike, I would save myself $1,000 and I would just get the manual engine, gearbox, and then get a quick shifter on it for up and down. With the windshield in the highest position, it's probably kind of in line with my chin, so it's not in the way when I'm riding. That was one of the problems with the other taller screens, is I find they were getting in my vision line when I'm kind of getting into the twisties, but no dramas with this. It's comfortably out of my eye line. Wind speed 60 miles an hour. Wind speed, wind protection 60. It's kind of at the tip of my helmet, so there is a good amount of protection, a good bubble surrounding me and the helmet, so there's not a massive amount of wind noise, which is nice, especially on a touring bike. You want something that you can chomp the miles down and your helmet and your head isn't getting battered. So this definitely gets a tick from me. With the top TFT screen, you can also go into the settings when you're changing the user 1, user 2, and you can adjust how the information is displayed. There's a couple of different screens, so that's like the rain, urban, and then tour. Tour's got all the information that the bike will show you, so that's why in user 1 I just put it into tour so I can see everything. The bike also has the capability for Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, so you can connect to your phone, so it's a nice little added feature. And then you can use the plethora of buttons on the left hand side when your phone's connected to adjust the music and the volume, etc. Cruising ability, this bike is actually really comfortable. Like, I'm in a nice natural kind of seated position. The pegs are kind of in line with my knees, so this would be a really good bike to do long distance touring on. I mean, what more do you want? You've got your cruise control, you've got heated grips, you've got panniers. It's easy to handle, easy to ride. What I also like is left and right of the main screen is you've got these extra like little winglets. Those winglets are designed just to force any extra air kind of away from the rider, so you do have a really kind of nice calm bubble. That's something that kind of annoys me with my GSA, is I've got a big screen but then I've got nothing left and right, so the wind goes over but still comes around and hits me on the chest. So this just pushes it. It's just nice and calm. Weather is looking hideous today. Middle of July, come on. I hate living in the UK. I wish I could live abroad. Sun, sea, sun. But no. Rain clouds, miserable weather. Brakes, they're really good. So a nice 2-finger operation. More than enough braking power. I'm 115 kilos. The Showa suspension is kind of lapping up everything these roads are throwing at it. I'm not getting bounced around, I'm not getting thrown around. It's just nice and it's just a gentle ride. I recommend to anyone, if they're going to get a bike and have it long term, is get the suspension tuned for you and your weight. Saves buying electronic suspension. Exhaust note is pretty good for a stock one, you know. Sounds quite deep and throaty. That's what she says. Just don't forget when you put it back into drive not to rev it, because you'll be in the back of the car in front of you in no time. So the question I asked at the start is this the best bang for buck litre touring bike on the market today? I'm going to put it out there and say yes. £12,500 for everything you need to get you going for touring is a fantastic price nowadays. There's no point thinking what bikes cost 5-10 years ago. Just don't do it to yourself. So in today's market, yes, this is a good bike. This is a great price, and I recommend people going out and testing it. You can try manual, try DCT, see which one you prefer. If I was getting this, I would definitely go for a manual and then get the quick shifter up and down installed. Seats nice and comfy. I've got a big arse. No issues this morning. Well guys, thank you very much for watching my quick riding review of the 2023 Honda NT1100 with DCT option. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you like it, leave a comment below, but more importantly, subscribe to the channel. We've got reviews coming out weekly. There's nothing else to say, but until the next one, ride safe.